New York after dangerous storms hit the heartland. People kayaking through streets in New Orleans and emergency crews rushing to rescue those stranded drivers.
Breaking overnight, North Korea's new threat. Kim Jong-un vows to launch thousands-fold revenge against the U.S., saying it's a mistake to think we're safe after those blistering UN sanctions. President Trump's urging calls with world leaders overnight.
Taken. The model who says she showed up for a photo shoot but was drugged, kidnapped, stuffed in a suitcase, and handcuffed for days. The abductors threatening to auction her off to the highest bidder on a secret site.
And Taylor Swift's trial. The superstar facing off against a radio DJ who she says touched her inappropriately. This photo by TMZ now a key piece of evidence. The courtroom battle about to get underway.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. We hope you all had a good weekend.
We sure do, but there were so many out there who were facing rough weather over the weekend. Let's take a look at the flooding in New Orleans, and they're cleaning up from that mess this morning.
And also a look at the tornado damage in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now that system is making its way to the northeast. Texas to New York City on alert right now, and let's go right to Ginger for the very latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Robin. Heavy rain already falling from eastern Kentucky right through parts of Pennsylvania, and this is after a weekend with damaging and severe storms and also all that flash flooding.
Up to 8 inches of rain inundating Kansas City, and now the storm's barreling east. High winds nearly ripping the roof off this store in Texas, and New Orleans saturated after nearly a foot of rain fell over the weekend.
It's really crazy. You can't go out your front door.
Plus, this storm leaving a trail of destruction in northwest Missouri, sending emergency crews to rescue stranded drivers. But the hardest hit area, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We've got power lines that are down. We've got big trees that are down. We have roads that are closed right now.
An EF2 tornado early Sunday with 111-mile-per-hour winds tearing through town, shredding roofs, uprooting trees, and trapping dozens.
The entire sky turned green.
And the whole house just rattling and shaking.
The roof literally just collapsed on top of the people.
Kind of like the sound of a freight train was going by.
At least 30 people hospitalized, the extensive damage leaving some with nowhere to go.
I saw that tree had fallen. I just started crying.
2 areas of very heavy rain possible today. From New Orleans back through Dallas, I want you to be watching for flash flood threat, but also watch up here in parts of the mid-Atlantic from Maryland right through the Delmarva Peninsula up into New Jersey. That warm front going to lift through. We wanted to time it just slightly for you. It really is between 3 and 8 p.m., but then you also have the shot of damaging winds from northern North Carolina right through Virginia and southern New Jersey. A lot to cover, guys, and I'll have much more on the flash flood threat and how much rain will fall in just a couple of moments. George?
Working its way up the coast. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Now to those growing tensions with North Korea. Overnight, North Korea reacted to the new UN sanctions, vowing thousands-fold revenge against the U.S. as President Trump says he's very happy and impressed by the unanimous vote in the UN. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, is in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. These sanctions are a big, important step to squeeze the North, to try to change their behavior. But so far, North Korea is just striking right back. Overnight, those new threats from North Korea, promises on state television to reciprocate 1,000-fold for what it calls America's villainous actions against our country and people, warning that if the U.S. thinks it will be safe because it is across an ocean, there is no bigger misunderstanding than that. The warnings in response to the toughest sanctions ever passed by the UN Security Council against North Korea, which could cost the regime nearly $1 billion a year.
These sanctions will cut deep, and in doing so will give the North Korean leadership a taste of the deprivation they have chosen to inflict on the North Korean people.
Sanctions in the wake of North Korea's alarming progress in its nuclear and missile programs. Kim Jong-un launching a second intercontinental ballistic missile just 9 days ago, a missile potentially capable of reaching as far as the eastern U.S. It is now Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's mission as he travels across the region to ensure all parties, especially China, adhere to the sanctions in hopes North Korea finally comes around.
Well, the best signal that North Korea could give us that they're prepared to talk would be to stop these missile launches. You know, we've not had a an extended period of time where they have not taken some type of provocative action by launching ballistic missiles.
And that will indeed be the big test. But whether the North Koreans stop the tests or not, the U.S. will give the sanctions time to bite before taking further action. But Secretary Tillerson said there is no time frame for that. Robin?
As of yet, that's right, Martha. Thank you. Now, the latest on President Trump and Washington. The president in New Jersey this morning. He's spending the next 2 weeks at his golf club there, but insists this is not a vacation. He'll hold meetings and calls. This as senators on both sides of the aisle propose measures to make it harder for a president to fire a special counsel. Amid concerns President Trump could try to oust Robert Mueller, something he has not ruled out. And Vice President Mike Pence is now denying a report that he's laying the groundwork for a possible 2020 presidential run. For more on all this, let's go to ABC's Mary Bruce. She's there in New Jersey. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, the president is on his first extended vacation here in New Jersey. But of course, when you're president, you're never really on vacation. And the White House is well aware of that, calling this a working holiday as they continue to face questions about Russia, the leaks, and now the 2020 election.
This morning, the vice president is strongly denying a report he's eyeing a possible presidential run in 2020, calling it disgraceful and offensive. The White House is pushing back, too.
It is absolutely true that the vice president is getting ready for 2020 for re-election as vice president.
So no concern he's setting up a shadow campaign?
And he's also getting ready for 2018. Zero concern. That is complete fiction. That is complete fabrication.
The New York Times Sunday reported Mike Pence's schedule is so full of political events that Republicans joke that he's acting more like a second-term vice president, hoping to clear the field, than a number two sworn in a little over 6 months ago. But Pence insists my entire team will continue to focus all our efforts to advance the president's agenda and see him reelected in 2020. Any suggestion otherwise is both laughable and absurd. The president this weekend was seen taking a break.
Everyone having a good time?
Crashing a wedding at his Bedminster golf club. The president is spending more than 2 weeks here at his New Jersey estate. One of the reasons for the relocation, the White House is under construction. On Twitter, pictures of the Oval Office cleared out for renovations. But the president insists he's keeping busy, tweeting this is not a vacation, meetings and calls.
And the president just responded to that report about the vice president, tweeting, "The failing New York Times, which has made every wrong prediction about me, including my big election win, is totally inept." George.
Yeah, didn't like that article at all. Okay, Mary, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, with more on all this. And John, okay, the president doesn't like the article. Mike Pence is calling it absurd, but he has shown an unusual amount of political activity, even setting up a PAC. And you see a lot of other Republicans out there in the early primary states as well. We haven't really seen this before so early in a term.
We're only 6 months in, 200 days in, George. But as you well know, presidential wannabes really begin preparing to run for president sometime after they get their driver's licenses in high school. So it's not all that unusual to see early activity. As for the vice president, the key factor for 2020 is that Donald Trump may be historically unpopular at this point in his presidency. 33% approval rating in that Quinnipiac poll last week. But he remains incredibly popular among Republicans. In that same poll, 76% approval rating. I don't see a clear challenger yet. We are incredibly early, and I certainly don't believe that there's any scenario in which that challenger is Mike Pence.
And Kellyanne Conway, well, challenging him, but she putting things in place in case President Trump doesn't run, even though Kellyanne Conway said yesterday he intends to serve 2 terms. The president also tweeting this morning that his base is bigger and stronger than ever, taking on those overall polls that show a low favorability. But as you point out, he is doing well with the Republicans, even though we're now seeing Republican senators start to buck him more.
We are seeing incredible independence among congressional Republicans, particularly in the Senate. Look what's happened. You've seen senators go forward to try to lay the groundwork to make it impossible for him to fire Robert Mueller as the special counsel. We also saw the defiance on the Russia sanctions issue, which passed in the Senate 97-2, passed by an even more overwhelming margin in the House, something the president opposed, passed anyway. No question we are seeing congressional Republicans willing to defy this president, and at this point, at least, not paying a price for it.
And, John, we're 1 week into General Kelly's tenure as chief of staff. This morning aside, the president's been slightly less active on Twitter, and we are seeing some other signs that General Kelly is tightening up the White House operations.
The biggest thing is the flow of people to meet with the president. It had been almost an open-door policy during the first 6 months, George, where the president would see somebody on Fox News in the morning, like what they said, give a call, and they would be in the Oval Office meeting with him a couple of hours later. Kelly has clamped down on that. To get into the Oval Office, you need to have a reason to be there. He is attending those meetings. He is controlling who comes in and out, and he's even on the phone when the president makes phone calls with members of his administration.
Some changes right there. Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Robin.
Okay, George, now to new developments in that explosion at a mosque near Minneapolis. Minnesota's governor is now calling it an act of terrorism. Investigators say an improvised explosive device was thrown through a window just before worshipers gathered for prayers. The blast shattered windows and damaged an office. Nobody was injured. The FBI has joined the investigation. A $20,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest.
And the wreckage of a U.S. military aircraft that crashed off the coast of Australia has now been located. 3 Marines are presumed dead after the Osprey went down during a training mission on Saturday. 23 others were rescued. The cause of the crash is under investigation. The Osprey, which lifts off vertically like a helicopter, you see it right there, flies like a plane, has been involved in several recent crashes. And in response, the Japanese government is now asking the U.S. to ground Osprey flights in Japan pending the investigation. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And we're going to turn now to an urgent manhunt. Authorities are searching for an inmate who fought with a deputy and escaped with his gun. ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more. And good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Michael. People in Paulding County, Ohio, are on edge this morning as law enforcement agencies search for an armed and dangerous prisoner. The sheriff says that he's angry with himself that this happened, and there are now changes underway to keep it from happening again.
The search for an escaped Ohio inmate armed with a deputy's gun is intensifying.
We've yet to find him. He has a possession of a firearm, up to 30 rounds of ammunition. He's got to be getting cold and hungry. U.S. Marshals and the FBI are joining the Ohio police in the manhunt for a man who's considered armed and extremely dangerous.
He's not a good guy. If you see him, call the police. Don't get near him.
32-year-old Brandon Powell, charged with rape, escaped Friday after overpowering an officer while being transferred from a hospital near Toledo, where he was being treated for injuries he sustained from a suicide attempt while in jail. Security images show Powell just before his escape, shackled at the hands, waist, and feet, an officer escorting him to a police vehicle. According to police, once inside the vehicle, Powell managed to put the deputy in a headlock, crashing the vehicle before taking the officer's weapon. Powell then forced the officer to undo his shackles before handcuffing him to the steering wheel. He then disabled the radio and car before fleeing on foot with the deputy's cell phone, wallet, and ammo.
You don't take a pistol from one of my deputies and threaten him with it. He's going to be held accountable for that when he's located.
Police say there have not been any solid tips of sightings, and he has not tried to contact his family. A $2,000 reward has been offered for information leading to Powell's capture. The deputy, by the way, who was transporting him at the time of the incident, is said to be doing well. George.
Goodness for that. Okay, Lindsay, thanks very much. We have the latest now on the murder mystery involving a Northwestern University professor. He and a second man were caught near San Francisco after more than a week on the run. And ABC's Alex Perez is in Chicago, where it all began. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, George. Authorities have been working nonstop trying to piece this mystery together. It took that nationwide manhunt to finally catch up with the suspects. This morning, Northwestern University professor Wyndham Latham set to appear in court, accused, along with Oxford University employee Andrew Warren, of brutally murdering 26-year-old Trenton Cornell Durenlau. Latham and Warren surrendering to police and the U.S. Marshals in California on Friday after a week-long nationwide manhunt starting over 2,000 miles away in Chicago, where the cosmetologist's body was found stabbed to death in Latham's luxury apartment building.
Subjects last seen driving a 2007 gray Hyundai passenger vehicle, four-door.
So far, police have not released a motive, and adding to the mystery, they believe the same day as the murder, an hour away in Wisconsin, the two suspects made a mysterious $1,000 donation to a public library in Durenlau's name.
What led that suspect or suspects to that location is still not known to us at this time.
Police say before he surrendered, Latham sent a video to his family and friends, apologizing for his part in the murder, calling it the biggest mistake of my life.
This was clearly a crime of passion. These suspects clearly had some kind of relationship. They felt some sort of caring for the victim, even though they were involved in his murder.
And Latham is due in a California courtroom later today. Authorities here now working on having both suspects extradited to face murder charges here in Chicago. George?
Okay, Alex, thanks very much.
Wow. And now a moment that many people have been talking about. We're talking about LaDainian Tomlinson, the former running back for the San Diego Chargers, who was inducted into the Football Hall of Fame over the weekend. His inspiring speech about Team America drawing standing ovations, getting an emotional reaction from everyone, including his family. Take a look.
America is the land of opportunity. Let's not slam the door on those who may look or sound different from us. On America's team, let's not choose to be against one another. Let's choose to be for one another. My great-great-great-grandfather had no choice. We have one. I pray we dedicate ourselves to be the best team we can be, working and living together, representing the highest ideals of mankind, leading the way for all nations to follow.
If you have time, go online and see his entire acceptance speech. It was truly moving.
But you know, that epitomizes his career, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. It's just an incredible young, I call him young man because he's younger than me, but incredible young man, and congratulations to him. Incredible speech, and as you said, Robin, you should go see that. And congratulations to everybody who's made it in, because they all made so many contributions to the game. But he's an incredible young man. I'm glad people get a chance to see that.
Yeah, well, you see the whole line there, and I remember being there a few years ago when you were standing up there like that.
And I remember looking out at you. I was happy you were there.
It's quite a moment when you're standing up there and you're being inducted into the hall like that.
There is no one that I know of who has made it into the Hall of Fame who says to themselves, while I'm playing for the Hall of Fame. But once you are called up there, you realize, wow, this is really the most incredible thing you can ask for in that football career. And to sit there in front of your peers and your fans and your family, it is the highest honor that you can get, and I'll never forget you being there.
Hall of Famer.
He made the most of it yesterday, huh?
He certainly did.
Absolutely.
He certainly did.
Let's go back to Ginger more on that heavy rain heading east.
Oh, and let's do that. First, we got to focus on where it started. So Kansas City, Missouri, you saw these pictures. This is what happens when you get a half a foot of rain really quickly. It inundates those storm sewers. And unfortunately, I think we could see this again in places today, from Texas all the way through the mid-Atlantic. We wanted to time it there. We stopped it at 4 p.m. So if you're anywhere from Easton, Maryland there, up through Toms River, New Jersey, say, into Brooklyn, New York City, that's all the afternoon and early evening. Then it clears out, but behind, you guys, it leaves 3, 4, even 5 inches locally in some places. So really have to watch out for that this afternoon. All right, your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Select Cities brought to you by the Hitman's Bodyguard, rated R.
Tell us where your husband is.
You lost my husband?
My job is to keep you alive.
Yo, you about done?
On 3, 1. My bad. You're bad.
The Hitman's Bodyguard. Rated R. In theaters August 18th.
Several waves of heavy rain expected to come through the area today, especially this afternoon, with any thunderstorms that may be elevated. Our heavy rain threat highest risk for today, then that means the risk of flooding also right up there as well. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Never attempt to drive across a flooded road. We've got gusty winds and maybe even an isolated tornado, so could see some severe thunderstorm warnings and maybe even a tornado warning for today. 77 is the high for today, 80s, and doing fine most of the rest of the week.
So just so you guys know, they just cleared the highway in California after a record snow season, finally using, yes, look at this picture, finally using it.
Wow.
There's a place, yeah, I know, in the midst of our summer here, it's hard to imagine.
In
California, of all places.
Last weekend.
All right, Ginger, thank you. Coming up, Taylor Swift heading to court battling with a radio DJ who she says touched her inappropriately, why she's taking such a public stand.
Say what you like, I'll pay you no mind.
'Cause I've heard it before 1,000 times.